being the only kid now that's been here for 4 years, it really being only like even the staff, like I think, I kind of showed them like that I know what it takes to win. I know the Baylor history, and I was like, let's continue to carry that legacy.
Welcome into the Sic Em Podcast. I'm your host, John Morris. Every great team needs a leader, and that's what Sarah Andrews is for Baylor women's basketball.
I think people lead in different ways, and I'm a person where I can lead with my words, but I like to lead with my actions too. I think this team, they look to me for a lot of things, and it's not something you realize at first. Like, that's a hard role. I think, everybody wants to call themselves a leader until it's really time to lead. Like, you got to be a leader in the good times and in the bad times.
From the time she was just 4 years old to being a top high school recruit in the country, Sarah Andrews has never been afraid of the competition on the court.
I literally started playing because of my older brother, Kenny. I started playing when I was 4. I used to watch him, like, growing up, and I would mimic the drills on the side. And, like, one day, his coach is like, come get in the drills. And it's all boys, and I'm the only girl in there. And the ball bigger than me at the time. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so I started playing basketball with the boys when I was 4.
Now, in her senior season, Sarah couldn't be more focused on the task at hand.
I think we get a unique opportunity, this team, to be the first ones to leave a history mark in that gym, to be the first ones that could potentially hang a banner.
Sarah Andrews is a winner, a leader, one of the most dangerous scorers in the country, and is the engine that makes Baylor women's basketball go. Life and Times of Sarah Andrews.
Yes.
That's good. Thanks for doing this. First off, could you sign my yearbook, please?
Of course.
How would that be? Thank you very much.
Of course.
You're on the cover. You and Jalen Bridges.
I think I saw this. You want me to sign on my jersey?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, don't cover up your pretty face.
I saw this. My parents had it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, snap.
That's a keeper.
Yeah. So it's like literally when you walk in the house, they got it like smack dab on the table.
You know what you could do? You could blow this up, make a poster size out of it. Wouldn't that be good?
Yes.
That'd be good.
Yes.
Good memory, Baylor.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk a lot of Baylor. Let's go back.
Okay.
When did you start liking basketball, playing basketball? Did you play a lot of other sports growing up?
So first off, I literally started playing because of my older brother, Kenny. I started playing when I was 4. I used to watch him, like, growing up, and I would mimic the drills on the side. And, like, one day, his coach is like, come get in the drills. And it's all boys, and I'm the only girl in there. And the ball bigger than me at the time. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so I started playing basketball with the boys when I was 4.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's going back.
Yes.
Now, did you grow, I know you went to Irving MacArthur High School. Did you grow up in the Metroplex?
I grew up Irving all my life.
Whole time?
Yes.
Very good. So your brother was a pretty big influence on you?
Oh, yeah, that competitive spirit. I wouldn't be where I am today without him.
Is he a talker?
No, like he's quiet. Like,
really?
We're two different competitive spirits. Like, I'll talk a little bit, but he's more so just to do it. So.
You got the talking gene more than him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's good. So was it immediate? I mean, I know you were only 4 years old, but you fell in love with it early on?
I did. Like, it was just like, my mom wanted me to be a cheerleader, and I'm like, Mom, like, I want to run up and down the court and put the ball in the hole. Like, I want to be on the court because I want to be just like my brother. Like, and, growing up as siblings, you always want to be better than your sibling. Sure. But it was that type of love of, like, he wanted me to succeed, and I wanted him to succeed. So he pushed me towards basketball. That's how I got here today.
Yeah. Some siblings talk about when they get to the point where they can beat their older sibling. Did you ever get there?
This gonna start an argument in the house.
Oh, okay.
But,
sorry about that.
Nah, you're good. Nah, I wouldn't say I could beat him. We're both good at different things.
Gotcha.
Like, he'll probably admit that now. I'm shooting a little bit better than him now.
Okay.
He
would admit that.
Oh, he can, but he can really shoot the ball.
Nice.
Like, that's who I learned to shoot the ball from, because he can shoot the ball. But if we line it up today, it might be a good game. I might lose, but I ain't gonna keep losing for too long.
Game of horse would be pretty good.
Oh yeah, it'll be a good game of horse.
So you go to Irving MacArthur High School. Man, what a great history that high school has with basketball and women's basketball, right?
Yes.
Did you remember watching games when you were growing up at Irving MacArthur?
Oh yeah, I watched it when the year they actually won a championship with Alexis Jones. I saw the year when Odyssey tore her ACL. Yeah. So I followed Irving MacArthur all my life, and I'd had the same coach as them, everything.
And Odyssey was there. Odyssey came to Baylor.
Yes.
How much of an influence was she to you?
So, like, it's, like, kind of crazy because, like, I was a big fan of hers growing up. Like, she didn't know who I was, but I'm like, I know who you are.
Uh-huh.
So, seeing her come back to the school, I was like, oh, like, that's who I want to be like when I grow up. And she kind of took on, that role of being a big sister and a role model for me when she didn't have to. And I'm blessed to this day to have somebody like her in my life that kind of, showed me the ropes. And she's in the league where I want to be at the end of the day. So it was such a great role model to have.
Nice. And y'all have stayed close, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Through the years.
I missed a call from her, actually. So
Really?
Yeah.
Just now?
Yes.
That's great. So coming up through high school, very highly recruited. What was the recruiting process like that led you to Baylor?
I've always wanted to go to Baylor. Like, it was my dream school growing up. Had Baylor in the house. But I took all 5 visits. Okay. Baylor was my last one, and I committed actually on my visit at Baylor. And I was like, this is where I wanted to be because I wanted my family to be able to watch me grow up on and off the court.
That's good. So you took the visits just to compare and just kind of see, to make sure, I guess, that you were making the right choice.
Yes, I wanted to weigh out all my options. I knew that I always loved Baylor, but, sometimes your heart can tell you to go somewhere else. But, like, when I came here, I instantly knew. I was like, my heart is telling me this is where you need to be.
That's great.
Yes.
How much, if any, was it a factor that Odyssey had played here?
I saw the great things that she had did.
Right.
And like I said, I wanted to be just like her. And seeing her grow up and be a hometown kid, I was like, that could be me. And just seeing, like, the fan base, you can't go a lot of places where Baylor loves women basketball the way they do. So I was like, this is where I got to be.
Nice.
Yes.
You come in, COVID hits. That was a rough freshman year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was weird. Even graduating high school, didn't think I was going to have a graduation. That was even weird. So it was all new to me.
Yeah. But y'all made it through that. I mean, it was just odd. You were in the bubble, the NCAA tournament and all. What do you remember? In some ways, does that seem like a long time ago? In some ways, it seems like yesterday.
Like, it seems like yesterday I was just a freshman moving in on campus. Like, everything was new. In the blink of an eye, I'm a senior now. But, like, coming in, being in a bubble, I'm like, I don't remember college basketball being like this. Like, having to sit spread out on the bench and stuff like that. I don't think, I got the real college experience until my sophomore year. That's when I was like, this is actually fun. Like, being able to have all the fans and get that support is when everything changed for me, like, my sophomore year. Yeah.
Freshman year, you did get a ring. You won the Big 12 championship.
Yes.
That's a way to step into college basketball.
I mean, I remember vividly, like, watching Baylor win championships. So, like, me and my brother yelling in the room while they're winning. And, like, when I was able to cut down a net for the first time, I was like, this is a memory that, like, I will never forget. I'm going to cherish this type of moment because you can't go a lot of places and get that type of thing. So I was just like, this is amazing to be able to show off a ring to my family and friends. Like, I was like, I love it.
That's sweet.
Yes.
So, Odyssey, obviously a mentor to you, but you didn't play with her here or in high school. Who, when you came in, kind of took you under their wing and helped you find your footing at college?
My best friend actually is Melissa Smith. I talk to her still to this day. She took me under her wing. I knew her from AAU, but we had really never, like, had any conversations. But when I got here, it was instantly like, that's my big sister. That's my best friend. We communicate still to this day. Love her to death, and she helped me grow in ways, that I didn't know I could grow. She pushed me. She challenged me in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. Is that going to be fun if you think ahead playing against them or maybe with them in the WNBA?
Yeah, that'd be crazy if we end up on the same team and be able to play together again. We made a very good duo, so I think it'll be some fun basketball.
That would be fun.
Yes.
Coach Nikki comes in your second year here. She comes in from the WNBA.
Yes.
What do you remember about your first meetings with her?
I just knew that she was where I wanted to be. And I was like, Coach, I feel like, you could take me there. What do you see for me? And I think you just saw the tremendous jump that I did from my freshman year to my sophomore year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was interesting. At a press conference recently, she used the wording that you inherited her. She didn't inherit you. Mm-hmm. And there's some distinction there. I think it really means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, tremendously. Like, that's a lot to say. I think, being the only kid now that's been here for 4 years, it really being only, like, even the staff, like, I think, I kind of showed them, like, that I know what it takes to win. I know the Baylor history, and I was like, let's continue to carry that legacy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're the only one that's been here more than a couple of years.
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of crazy. Yes.
That's fun. So that role, I know you handle it really well as, sort of the veteran, very much the veteran, the leader, and you've really grown into that role, haven't you?
Yeah, like, it's not, like, I think people lead in different ways, and I'm a person where I can lead with my words, but I like to lead with my actions too. I think this team, they look to me for a lot of things, and it's not something you realize at first. Like, that's a hard role. I think, everybody wants to call themselves a leader until it's really time to lead. Like, you got to be a leader in the good times and in the bad times, and I think that's something I've grown the most in this year is being that leader, even on the bad nights, even when we're having adversity. I think I've grown in that area.
Yeah, very good. What's it like to play for Coach Nikki?
Playing for Coach Nikki, it's fun. Coach Nikki is very hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, she can say anything at any given moment. She instilled a lot of confidence in me in my sophomore year, and I think I have a very much green light. She lets me be me. She doesn't keep me in a box, and I think that's the best thing that has happened to me was staying at Baylor and playing for her, because she's helped me grow my game. She's challenged me in ways that I didn't want to be challenged in, groomed me into a leader. Just she's been where I want to be in at the end of the day. So just playing for her is fun.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to her and she knows what she's talking about, right?
Yes.
I mean, because she's coached in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's great. She knows the path.
Yes,
to
she
get
does.
you there.
Yes.
So year 2, Coach Nikki comes in. Y'all win another Big 12 championship.
Yes.
You remember that moment celebrating at Iowa State?
I do. I think we were. It was like if we won, we would take it all, but if we lost, we would split with them.
Right.
And we just knew hey, we don't
Right.
we don't want to share no championship. So that was amazing just to see the way she celebrated, and for her to get her first Big 12 win was just a lot.
Yeah, that was cool. Year 3, so last year, so many injuries, you included. How tough was that to go through? What positives came out of that, even despite the injuries?
I think despite the injuries, I think you saw players that might not have been as freshmen grow. You saw Bugs and Bella have a unique opportunity. I mean, we hate that we had injuries, but you saw them have a unique opportunity where they were able to grow. With myself, I think, I hit a wall of adversity where I could have gave up, but I was like, injuries are a part of basketball. And we played with a lot of injuries, like you said. I think, it helped us grow in a different way. And you see what it's done for us this year. It's helped us out this year. And I'm like, if I would have known that this is what was going to lead to this year for us to have injuries, I wouldn't have it no other way.
Yeah, that's great. So that's a positive. Coming through that, knowing on the other side, things are going to be good.
That's a positive. I mean, starting out, you can't complain when you start the season 14-0.
Right.
I can't complain about that. I'll take some more injuries. I mean, I don't want them, but I'm like, hey, the positive thing is we started out undefeated.
How did you handle it personally? Your foot injury and being on the bench so much.
This team is just a fun team to be around. I don't think they ever let me have a down moment. They just kept being like, you'll be back tomorrow, you'll be back. And the coaching staff pushed me in ways that I didn't want to be challenged in. I think that's what actually helped me become the leader that I am, is because I couldn't be out there sometimes, so I had to be more of a vocal leader. I had to be like, hey, Jada, this is what you're supposed to do, because I know the system. So hey, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. So I think having that injury helped me grow as a leader and see things that I might not have seen when I was out there going into my 4th year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your senior year, I hear seniors say a lot, man, sounds like I just got here. But now you're a senior, and is that hard to believe?
I mean, like you said, I was just cutting down my first championship for the Big 12, as a freshman. And I'm like, you don't realize how fast it goes by. I'm a senior now. I'm halfway through the season. All in the blink of an eye. It's come so fast.
We're into the season now, but any particular goals you had for yourself and for the team this year?
First and foremost is to lead this team to a victory every night. Come in and play hard. With this fan base, we got a strong fan base that supports us. We just want to make them happy. And I think when we leave it all out on the floor, whether win or loss, if it's a loss, we grow. I always look at a loss as a learning experience. Right. I sometimes look at it as a loss. I know it goes in like that, but this team is just amazing, and it's just a fun season.
Yeah,
yes.
Good. What about for the future? What goals? You sort of touched on the WNBA. What would you like to do in the future?
I got another year left, so I'm in between. I'm indecisive right now. I want to finish it up here. I want to get a Big 12 championship here and all of that, and then go into the NCAA tournament and handle things there. But the future, I got 2 different paths I'm weighing right now, going to the league and coming back to college for another year. So at the end of the day, that is the goal, but I'm on my struggle bus right now.
I got you. I don't want to push you out the door. If you want to come back, we want you back.
Thank you.
It's nice to have that option, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Like, I think that was the best thing about COVID is I'm like, I get 1 year under my belt
That's
that
right.
kind of didn't count. So
That's
I'm like, I can come back. I'm still a freshman again my sophomore
It's a
year.
mulligan. You ever heard that term, mulligan?
No, I ain't
In
never
golf,
heard that.
it's like a mulligan, a shot that doesn't count.
Yeah,
So,
I'm like, I'm coming on. I might come on back.
You had a mulligan year.
Yes.
How has it been moving from the Farrell Center to Foster Pavilion?
Oh my God, that's different.
Nice, isn't it?
That's different. Like, I don't think you actually realize like how loud it is until you're on the court. Like, I'm like, dang, like this is loud. Like it's crazy in there. Like with the fans, it's like I don't feel like everybody's so far spread out now. Like I feel like we're together. Like we're really one now. And when we're going through adversity, the fans are going through adversity with us. When we're up, they're up with us. And I think that's what we needed is to feel that type of energy in hard moments.
Yeah, very cool. I'm sure you leave the Farrell Center with good memories, though.
Yes.
I mean, y'all had won a lot of games, dropped a lot of confetti here.
Oh yeah, like I'm like that's what we want to do. Like
Right.
I think we get a unique opportunity, this team, to be the first ones to leave a history mark in that gym, to be the first ones that could potentially hang a banner.
When I think of you and I think of your game, I think the first thing I think of is tenacious, the way you play. And then I also think of a step back three. You've kind of made that your shot, haven't you?
Yes, my dad always says he don't know what it is, but I balance up more when I shoot a step back three. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, if I get a step back, it's going in 90% of the time. I feel like that's that confidence that Coach Nicky has put in me, though. Like when I shoot a step back, the goal goes from like here to here, and I'm like, I know it's going in, but yeah, the step back is kind of a mark that I've created for myself.
Nice.
Yes.
And it's almost like you have more confidence shooting a three that way than a spot up three or something like that.
It's just like it's a rhythm shot for me. I feel like a step, like I feel like on a step back, like my dad said, I do have to balance up. I get that extra dribble that takes me into the shot. So I feel like it's another rhythm shot for me, like a layup.
You've hit a lot of threes during your Baylor career. I know you
Yes.
got a lot more coming.
Yes.
I think you're second all time behind who? Let's see, who's made the most?
You know who we chasing, Big Sis. You know who we
Exactly, your
chasing.
sister.
Yes, we're chasing her. I love her, but we gonna chase her.
How great is that, though?
It's great, that's somebody I grew up watching that I want to just be just like. So
Right.
It's amazing to be able to, kind of come in and be able to break a record that she set.
You think about that moment, when it gets here where you going into a game, you could tie her or break her record.
I think I'm gonna ask at halftime, can we call her or something? Or whenever that moment is, hey, let's get her on the phone and say, I love you, but now I gotta make one more to pass you.
That'd be really cool.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Sarah away from basketball.
Okay.
What do you like to do away from basketball?
I like to buy shoes.
I've heard that about you.
Well, I like to buy shoes and hats.
Uh-huh.
If you go to my house, I have a hat wall in my room.
And hats. Okay.
Yeah, hats. But shoes, oh yeah.
How many pairs of shoes do you have?
Over 100 for sure.
Really?
Oh, for sure. Like, it's ridiculous how many shoes I have. And my parents like, stop buying shoes. I'm like, I gotta have the newest Jordan that come out. I gotta have them.
That is great.
I don't know why, but I love shoes.
Do you have, a dozen or so favorite pair that you wear a lot, or do you rotate around?
I kind of rotate around. I'm a color coordination type person. Like,
Gotcha.
I love my shoes. It gotta match the outfit. Like, I know some people don't like to shoot, but I gotta if I got red on, my shoes gotta have some type of red in them. Like,
Nice.
gotta be like that.
Very good.
Yes.
And how far back did that start? Just since you've been at Baylor, or?
It started when I got in college. Like, I was always like that when I was younger. But it's something about getting your own money. You can spend it. You can spend it a little different. So I started, investing my money in the shoes, something I like. But I play video games too. I recently just bought a PC, so I can play. It's this game called Finals. It's like a mixture of like Call of Duty and stuff. So I play that. I play. My little cousin has me playing Fortnite, so I'm on Fortnite a lot now.
Yeah.
And 2K.
Okay, that's
Yes.
another hobby off the court, right?
Oh yeah,
Very
video
good.
games. I love watching. I love going back actually and watching AAU basketball too. So that's kind of Sarah off the court, is giving back to the community. I want to be that role model and that big sister that like Odyssey was for me.
Very nice. What about Waco? You've seen some changes in the city of Waco, haven't you, in your time here?
Yeah, like we got Top Golf, we got
Yeah.
a main event. You name it, we probably got it now.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing.
What are some of the top spots you like to go to in town?
Where do I go a lot? I've been to main event a few times. I've been to Top Golf. Probably mostly like main event.
Nice.
Because I love games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baylor's grown a lot.
Yes.
I mean, in your time here, hasn't it?
I remember coming through and it was all that construction for the longest.
Right.
And it's getting better. So I'm like, yeah, it's grown a lot.
Very good. All right, when your time at Baylor is done, how do you hope fans remember Sarah Andrews?
Someone that left it all on the court, that was a leader for the team, that had love for the game, that loved playing the game of basketball.
Thanks again for joining us on the Sic Em Podcast, a sport and story production. If you enjoyed this conversation with Sarah Andrews, head over to BaylorPlus.com where you can watch the premium video version of this podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast, leave a review, and tell your friends about us. I'm your host, John Morris, and I hope you'll join me next week on another edition of the Sic Em Podcast.